Scrum Masters Elite _UK, a place to learn and grow from failure. Subscribe to the channel to develop together.
What made me think the most is the state of no longer being tense that Dolph mentioned. It sounds simple at first, but in reality it represents an important psychological shift. In elite sports, pressure is almost inevitable. It comes from expectations, achievements, fans, and from within each athlete. When a team says they are no longer tense, it doesn't mean they have given up, rather, it may mean they have moved into another phase, a phase of clearly understanding the goals and accepting the path toward them. No matter how difficult it may be, I realize that in my personal life, it is the same. There are times when I get caught in a spiral of anxiety, worrying that I'm not good enough, that I won't meet expectations, that I'll be compared to others. But the more I worry, the more I lose my freedom to act. What the Springbok team is striving for, to play freely, is exactly what many of us are lacking. That freedom is not about doing whatever we want, but about freedom of mind, the courage to express ourselves, to make mistakes, and to correct them.
Looking back at the poor performances in Montevideo, I don't see them as shameful failures, but as an inevitable part of the development process. Losing to Spain and Argentina, and finishing only in third place, may disappoint fans. But those very matches become the material for analysis, adjustment, and growth. What is valuable is that they do not avoid the problem, but face it directly. I am particularly impressed by Dolph's emphasis on the time spent analyzing and correcting mistakes. In life, we often rush to the next challenge without taking enough time to reflect on what has happened. This makes it easy for mistakes to repeat themselves. In contrast, this team used the time between tournaments to dissect themselves. This is a clear lesson: growth does not come from moving faster, but from understanding more deeply. Another point that makes me reflect is the team spirit. Dolph said that participating in another tournament will make the team stronger and more united.
This reminds me that cohesion does not come naturally. It is built through going through difficulties together, failing together, and learning together. In a world that increasingly emphasizes individuality, maintaining a collective spirit is not easy, but it is essential. We are often used to looking only at results, win or lose, top of the table or falling behind. But behind every number is an entire journey. If we judge a team based on just a few matches, we may miss the bigger picture. Fans, if they truly love sports, perhaps should also learn to be more patient, more understanding, and to stand by their team not only in glory but also in difficult times. The absence of Maria Sharemba, the top scorer, is also a significant challenge for the Springbok women's team. But from another perspective, it is an opportunity for other members to step up, so the team does not rely too heavily on a single individual. In life, I too have relied on a few familiar anchors. But when those anchors are no longer there, I am forced to change and to grow.
It is not easy, but it is necessary. I also see an important message in their focus on the World Championship: always look beyond the present. Even while competing in a specific tournament, they see it as preparation for a bigger goal. This makes me reflect on how I set my own goals. Often, I focus only on immediate results and forget the long-term picture. With a clear vision, short-term difficulties become easier to accept. I realize that I need to change the way I view failure. Instead of seeing it as a full stop, I should see it as a comma, a pause to reflect, adjust, and continue. I also need to learn to reduce unnecessary pressure, focus on what I can control, and accept that things will not always go as planned. What I feel most clearly is a sense of hope. Not blind hope, but grounded hope, built from preparation, self-understanding, and a spirit of continuous progress. The Springbok women's team may not be perfect, but it is precisely that imperfection that makes them more relatable and more admirable. And perhaps that is what I need to remember for myself. I don't have to be perfect to begin. I just need to be brave enough to keep going.
Farewell from Scrum Masters Elite _UK. Reduce pressure, dare to make mistakes, learn deeply, go far. The journey matters more than the result.